So God has brought about growth in our life. Really, when we got married, that was the first part of trying to figure out how to do life together like that. But the biggest challenge that we faced, to where God just led us, gave us wisdom and helped us grow, was when we became parents. We didn't know how exactly we were gonna. I mean, we thought we had it figured out, but then once we actually had our firstborn, we realized really quickly we knew nothing at all. And then when we had our second child, we forgot how much we forgot. But through both of those challenges, which we have an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old now, we keep having new challenges that we face. And God continuously leads us and helps us grow as parents. And it's been an amazing thing to see that as we draw closer to Him, our kids are knowing who God is. They're seeing our relationship, but even at such an early age, they're talking about Jesus. They are talking about church and how much they love being connected to church and how much they love being connected to who Jesus is. And I think that growth that we have experienced as parents has not only been good for us in raising our children, but we've seen it in our work lives, in our marriage. We have seen the challenge of being parents pour into other parts of our lives and help us grow in other parts of our lives, not only just personally, but professionally and things like that.
Absolutely. It's kind of like the moments that I found the most growth is whenever I didn't know what was going to happen next. Like, I had no idea what tomorrow, next week, or anything held, and I had to just have faith, and I had to have that childlike faith that I knew God was going to handle it, whether it was my way, His way. It was always going to be His way, but I mean, I don't know if it was going to happen the way I wanted it to, and I just had to have faith. And my biggest growth has always come out of just having that faith and just being able to walk side by side with Him. And like you said, having kids and being a family, especially in our society today, we don't know what's next, so we just have to have that faith, and we grow together. And every day.
Yeah, and leaning on God is just, that's what He's shown us, that and that's how we've grown, is that we've leaned on Him, and it's shown us that we need to lean on Him.
That we've waited for, you buried the night and came with the morning. You're the King of heaven, the praise is yours. The longer the quiet, the louder the chorus soars.
Hey, we're Andrew and Lexi Collins. We're Global Partners Missionaries to Cambodia in Southeast Asia. During partnership development or fundraising, the Lord grew me in knowing God's timing is always perfect, and what I want doesn't really matter. If something is supposed to be done, it will be done in God's timing.
Our time just before coming onto the field and in the season we're in now being established, I feel like the Lord grew me a lot. He's been teaching me patience in this season, and that when I feel like things are out of my control, He is in control and I can be secure in that. I'm learning to trust Him in the everyday, not just on the big days.
You're the living water, God, we thirst for you. The dry and the bare, the flower and bloom. You're the sun that's shining, you restore my soul. The deeper you call us, oh, the deeper we'll go. We will sing a new song.
So I think sometimes, we can have really big, dramatic situations that are very transformational. But I think a lot of times God is working in our relationships, in our day-to-day things that we face, and learning to pay attention to the heart and how are we responding and reacting. And I think God sometimes works some amazing miracles when we let Him. That maybe some people, the greater public around us will never know or see or understand. So that would be the case for me in this relationship. God has worked incredible healing and freedom, the kind that I won't talk about really freely and publicly because of how precious and personal that it is. But really wanted to share that with you all today, that it's so possible. It's so possible. And God is working in us. He has purposes for how He's growing and changing us, even within some of the most challenging relationships that we find ourselves in.
where I feel the closest to the Israelites who wandered in the desert. My new place of growth has been this: that in every season, no matter how volatile my emotions or my mental life is, that no matter the lies I hear from Satan or the doubts I have about myself, that God has made a promise, that He has a plan, and that because He is constant over all of history, and He is faithful to those who believe in Him, that there will be a time when I finally make it to the promised land, even if I don't know the journey.